we'll just get started here. I'm John Lee here with my wife Laura, and then Jim Choik, also of the board. Let's see. I don't know how many people we're going to have today, but anyway, with St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association, today is the 30th of August, 2024. Just a couple of things. I know we had a lot of good things going on lately. We've got main event next, let's see, on September 17th will be cost segregation. They're coming in from Utah to tell us about some energy credits. There's like a 179D, I think it's called, a tax credit, and then a 45L energy credit, which helps all us investors. And I'm not sure all the details on that, but it's stuff we can all use for our investments. They're going to fill us in on that. So anyway, that's I don't really have much else. So I guess, Laura, you want to do your disclaimer, and then we'll just start talking.
Sure. Let's see here. Good morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorneys, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Thank you, Laura.
John, I think you're muted. Or you are muted.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I was muted there. I don't know. They keep changing my settings, and I can't keep up with them. So thank you. Does anybody have anything they want to start off with today? Anybody working on anything? Anybody got anything they're looking for, or got anything they want to sell? I've got a couple. I'm on everybody's list, and I don't know if you guys are or not, and I recommend you get on the list, but I'm on a bunch of these wholesaler lists, and I had I know I don't see Jay on here today, but he was asking about some things the last couple weeks, and I guess we'll give him a few more minutes, but I have some of them I've written down that I got this week. Some of these are off-market properties, and some of them are probably on market, and they may not even be available. This is just the last 6-7 days that I got some things in St. Louis I thought I'd share. We got a couple multi-families and some single families. And I don't know anything about the properties, and I don't know anything about the people that have them. So you definitely, just like Laura said, you want to do your own due diligence on everything. So does anybody else got anything they want to say first?
I'm sorry, John, are these your tax lead list?
No, this is totally separate. This is just stuff I get. I'm on a lot of wholesaler lists, and I just get things every, a lot of them are from around the country from different groups. But there's, people, a lot of the wholesalers, they get properties, under contract here in St. Louis, and I get all their lists because I get the St. Louis ones, specifically. So Princess, yeah, the tax lists are totally different. The tax sales, as you know, were last week. No, what I do with those are just, that's a little bit different than what these are. Do anybody go to the tax sales auctions? Anybody? No? I got 66 lists from the different counties last week, so that'll keep us busy for the next couple months. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and share a couple of these with you if you'd like. And like I said, I don't know these people other than I get their list, and I don't know the properties, but so you definitely do your own due diligence. But I got a couple of them here. These are both from, these first two are multi-families, and they're looks like down South St. Louis. 63118 is their zip code here. And these are from a guy, I don't have his last name. I should have probably written it down, but his name is James. And his phone number is 602-529-4772. And I'll repeat that. But the first one is 217 or 20, excuse me, 2117 and 2119. This is a multifamily on Cherokee Street. Okay, and you're asking 195,000 for it. He's got the ARV is 380, and again, you'll have to check that out for yourself because values, as you know, or anything you decide to make them, whatever somebody will give you for them. This one's got a new, it says it's got new roof and needs rehab, so you'd have to check that out yourself. But this is from James, 602-529-4772. Then he's got another one here at 3114 Chippewa Street, 63118. And this one's for 70,000. He's got an ARV down at 180. It's a multifamily. It says two families, he's got here. And again, that one is 602-529-4772. So I don't know James, but he's got a couple properties. I get stuff from him all the time. You just have to, again, do your own due diligence on that. So, do you want to hear some more? Or do you want to, anybody else want to say anything? Stacy's smiling. You got something you want to say, Stacy?
I don't have anything that I'm looking to buy or sell, but I can talk about property management real fast.
Sure, that'd be great.
She's always smiling.
I like her videos. She makes everybody smile.
I need to make some more new ones. It's hard to come up with ideas, but hey everyone, Stacy Lowe. I'm with Dave Soto. There, he's my broker. We are a real estate company, full service brokerage. We specialize in property management. I am a licensed agent in the St. Louis area. Our office, though, does prioritize property management. We have an office in St. Louis and an office down in Cape Girardeau. And we manage pretty much anywhere, St. Louis area down to Cape. So if you have any investment properties in those areas and would like a manager, please reach out to me. We handle everything from beginning to end when it comes to finding and placing tenants and handling the maintenance and all of the accounting. We're the tenants and the vendor's first point of contact. So if you're needing any help, please reach out to me. My office line 636-305-3380. I am extension 311. And then my email is Stacy, STACY at sotops.com. And we'll also put all of that into the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, Stacy. Let's see. Renee, you can unmute yourself. I think you had a question there. Maybe you can't.
Yeah. Hi, Stacy. I'm just curious. I have a 4-family that we have a pretty good property manager right now, but it's never hurts to have a backup. And I was just wondering, do you manage in North City? We are right near we're like 2 blocks from what would be considered South City, near the giant park and the zoo.
Yeah, probably I would need a specific address. We have or I can send you our zone map. Some places, right, all of St. Louis is block by block. So I can send you the zone map, or you can email me the exact address and I can let you know one way.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I'm putting all my information in the chat, so you'll have it there too.
Okay, and I see Leon said info. I'm assuming you mean her info, or do you have another question? Feel free to unmute yourself, Leon.
Yeah. Hi, how you all doing? Yeah, I was just wondering what her information is. Oh, like the previous person, I'm always on the hunt for good property management.
Great. Yeah. I got it all in the chat, so feel free to call me or email me. I will let you know I have a sick kid at home with me today, so my availability is kind of depending on how needy he is today. So, but I'll definitely get back to you if I don't answer.
Thank you.
Oh, and I hope your kid's okay. It's never fun, and sometimes we need some rest too.
This is Renee. I have a quick, just kind of a FYI for those who do the, whose strategy is doing some of the tax sales and, like doing that and then flipping, you know. I just recently was selling a property, and now they're requiring that you pay a notary fee of $200. You can't just use any notary anymore. Just something to consider if, you know, like, so for me, my profit margin, you know, with land is not huge. So it's something I got to take into consideration when I, you know, if I'm going to buy a property and then resell it. And I don't know if anybody else, you know, does their numbers like that, if they have a strategy like that, but just that's an extra, you know, that's another expense that you will have now, every time you sell a property. Just FYI.
Did that come from the city of St. Louis, Renee? Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is what the title companies are doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well-
they're doing it everywhere. Because I know one of my partners is refinancing something in another city. And she said same thing. Everybody's trying to, you know, like whatever they're doing when they sell, they're all requiring a I think they're called the signing agent. I am a notary, but I'm not a signing, you know, a signing agent. So you have to have specific real estate, you know, like you have to be certified in something else as well as being a notary in order to be able to sign real estate transactions, I guess.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anybody else have anything they would like to, anybody got anything they're looking to buy or sell? Everybody just sitting here to learn stuff, see what everybody else is doing? Everybody's ready for the grilling or whatever you're going to do this weekend? I see Eric up there. Are you still in Germany, Eric?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. What is it dinner time now again, like it was last week, I guess?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's about 6 o'clock here.
About 6, okay.
But I do got a quick question though.
Yeah.
Till I get back. Don, has there been any changes in the Transparency Act? Is that still a goal that we still need to do that? I know last, a few times they talked about maybe it may not, supposed to talk to some people, we may have to do it, may not, but probably something I'm gonna have to look at when I get back there. But has there been anybody know any changes on that?
I don't know of any changes. As far as I know, you still need to do it. Dave, do you know anything about that? Dave Soto?
Yeah, so I was gone last week because I was at NFIB meeting and we had our federal coordinator speaking about that, about a couple other things too. But on that one is that it has not changed. We're not getting a lot of support on getting it changed. Don't know why. But here's the big thing. NFIB is National Federation of Independent Businesses, and they did a poll, and 80% of their members had no idea that anything like that existed. So there's going to be millions and millions of people that are supposed to do it and don't, and the agency that is going to monitor that has 15 people. So chances of you getting caught or in trouble is pretty slim. Not saying don't do it, but they're still pushing on our representatives to do something about that. So best things for you to do is contact your congressman and your senator, both senators. So for some reason, Josh Hawley has been unfriendly with the small business for some reason. Don't know why. I haven't got an explanation. Because one of the other big ones that we're fighting is the tax rates for small businesses is set to expire at the end of next year. So part of the last tax change, there was a reduction for businesses, and for large businesses, they made it permanent. For some reason, small businesses, they had to sunset it. So that's going to come up next year. Holly is definitely not for it. We don't know why. We suspect maybe because he's in a campaign year and he's trying to get money from big business. And so this is going to hurt small businesses in a way that they don't have the same tax advantage that big businesses do. So their tax rate is going to increase tremendously. Big businesses not, so they have an advantage. That's just two of the issues that we're working on right now as part of NFIB.
Now, you said a lot of people don't know about this. Isn't there some pretty stiff penalties if you do not file, though, Dave?
$10,000 fine and 2 years in jail.
Yeah, isn't it so much per day also, if I remember
I
right?
don't recall the per day.
Okay, I know it's pretty substantial, and that's per LLC, our corporation, isn't it? Is that correct?
It's no any business that is making less than, I think it's 50 million, or has less than 20 employees. So right now I'm up at like 17 employees. I need to find 3 more employees by the end of the year.
Does virtual employees count?
That's the other problem, is that for reporting, one of the things that they say is somebody that has substantial interest in the business, and that's not defined. What does that mean? So somebody says, does that mean my general manager, because they make some major decisions in the business, it's not defined. So it's a huge problem that we need to get resolved. So if you own your properties in an LLC, that's, you're gonna have to register.
So, hey guys, let me make sure I'm clear on this. Can you hear? I'm sorry. Can you hear me? The sound is, we're in Cape Cod, so you might not be able to hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
can hear you.
Oh, so if you do not have employees, then you do not have to file. Am I understanding correctly?
That's incorrect. If you're an entity, so if you have, if you're selling stuff on the side and have a business, if you have rental properties under the entity of a LLC, you are required to file.
Oh, okay.
If you don't, it's $10,000 fine and 2 years in jail.
Stiff penalty. So yeah, I understand now. Yeah, I'm just making sure, because when you mentioned, you said that if you have employees, but so if we do not have employees, but we have like if you have 10 rental properties, no employees, you still have to file.
You have to file. The employee part is if you have 20 or more employees, you don't have to file.
More. Okay, got it. Thank you.
I guess I'm not really understanding how that works, because like with an LLC, it's like pass through income. So, but you still have to file separately. Like I don't.
So that's two different issues.
Okay.
The pass through tax income, that's the tax issue.
Yeah.
The Transparency Act is a separate issue, has nothing to do with taxes. It's just that the Biden administration wants you to send them all your personal information. And the idea is that it's supposed to be about protecting money laundering or terrorists bringing money in, and for some reason you as a small company are a threat, so you've got to register with the government. And we're talking personal information. Actually, it's information they already have if they want to go dig it up, but
yeah.
So
okay, thank you.
And that is per each LLC, correct?
Correct. So in my case, I have my business. Like I said, if I get 3 more employees, I'm not worried about the business. but I also own properties in 2 different entities. So I've got to report. I'll have to do 2 more reports for my rental property LLCs.
You only have to report the one time, or you have to report annually?
So you have to report annually. Because that was another question, is that what if I have 20 employees at the end of the year, and then January I drop down to 19, right? Somebody leaves, drop down to 19. Do I have to report that, or am I good for the year until it comes back again? There's a lot of questions that have not been answered. And again, the department that's going to oversee that, there's only 15 employees. So that's the other thing that's going to be a big concern, is that they're going to say, we can't handle this. We need more money to do that. So there goes more of your tax dollars.
Didn't they say in one of these meetings that was on hold? I know I had heard that, but I didn't hear anything else after that. I know that everybody's saying like, get the info in anyway, but if, you know, like if you have any info, I would love to know.
As of last Thursday, when we were at our NFIB meeting and our federal coordinator was there, it is not on hold.
So
thank you.
So I have more questions. So does this apply to LLCs that are not US based? If a foreign entity owns the property, does that foreign entity still have to
I couldn't tell you.
report?
That I don't know.
Okay. So a good rule of thumb would be to consult with a tax attorney or CPA on this, or is that something that falls into the tax realm? Who would you recommend I speak to get clarification on what I need to do?
I'm not sure what
There's a website that you can file, and which I got from John last week, I think. Thank you very much. I'll put it in the chat.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And also, Catherine Davis will be here next week, our local attorney here, and she may have some updates. I know they had some lawsuits from some other states, but that does not apply to everybody straight across. So you are expected to do this. I was told in a couple of things from some attorneys, for some meetings I was in, that you don't want to be the first and you don't want to be the last, but it's a good idea maybe to be somewhere in the middle, like with the herd is the way they put it. So maybe around September, October, but don't wait till the end is what I was told. But I don't know. I didn't know there was only 15 people looking after it. So that sounds like they're going to have their hands full.
Yeah. But you're right, John, there was a lawsuit, and I forget what state it was in, but it's very specific to the people that filed. It was not, doesn't cover everybody. Right.
That's what I understood. So yeah, that's some good questions for Kathy next week. She'll be here for our first Friday of the month we call it Ask the Attorney, and she likes to give us all the updates. She's really good at it. So that's something, that'll be a good question we want to bring up for her. Yeah. And thank you, Lois and Renee, for putting that in the chat too. Yeah. That's the website that's where you should go to file everything. And there should be a lot more information on there too. And so maybe we just all need to go out and hire 25 employees this week.
I'm looking, so hopefully we'll be getting up there. So I need another maintenance person in St. Louis. So if anybody has somebody looking for a job.
Oh, what are you looking for, Dave?
Just general maintenance guy. We have one who's he's overwhelmed. We're trying to keep everything in-house, but for example, he's out today at a funeral, so we're having trouble getting it covered. But we need another maintenance guy. But there's plenty of work in St. Louis now for 2 maintenance people. So it's just general maintenance. Be able to drive, have a clean record, be able to drive legally, and have their own tools. But we're talking about general maintenance. You know what it is when a tenant calls in and has a problem.
Yeah. And who would they get a hold of if you have somebody that's interested there, Dave?
I guess right now the best thing is to reach out to me. Send me an email, Dave david.soto@sotops.com.
Okay,
I'll put it in chat.
okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
As many people are aware, there were some changes to the real estate agent market, how you interact with an agent. Have anyone done any transactions since the rules have changed, and what has been your experience?
So anybody know about that? I know they did have some changes and a lot of people are doing some different things. I don't know. I don't have any information. I see some of the real estate agents I know are still doing transactions. Anybody have any experience with that or anything about it?
I was just curious.
What was the question?
I was asking about the new real estate agent rules for a buyer and how, I was from an investor standpoint, how has it changed the way we do business? Has anyone done any transactions, and how does that change how you interact with a buyer agent if you have to have one? I know the rule of thumb is to generally avoid a buyer agent, but
So there's a lot to it. I can just give you, oh gosh, what's that fax website? Stacy, remember what it is with NAR, what the facts are. But basically,
I'll find it and put it in the chat.
Okay, basically you have to have the buyer's agency agreement signed before I or Stacy or any other agents on here can show your property. It's always been, yes, you should get buyer's agency agreement. But typically you before you sign a contract, you have a relationship with somebody. It's not, you can't do that. We can't do that anymore. You can't call me and say, hey, I saw a property for sale. Can you show it to me? Yes, I can. Sign here. That's basically it. As far as buyer's agency, the biggest problem with that is that we do not know, because we can't post on the MLS, if the seller is going to pay the commission. So I, as an agent, need to get paid. So the buyer's agency agreement is going to say, you are going to pay me X%, right? Or a fee. You can pay me a fee unless the seller is going to pay it. So whoever pays it. So if the seller says you're going to pay $1, but I put $2 on the contract that you need to pay me $2, seller's going to pay $1, you now owe me $1. The seller says they're not paying anything, you now owe me $2. So that's a big problem with the contract, is that we don't know. What we're doing right now is calling, right? That can go on the MLS. That's part of the agreement. The commission cannot go on the MLS. On my properties, I can list them on my website. So an agent can go to my website and see it. Unfortunately, most agents' websites are just pulling from the MLS. So they don't have their own, not entering it twice, not entering the website in MLS. They're pulling from the MLS, so you can't have the commissions. But the big thing is you've got to sign a buyer's agency agreement before you can be shown the property.
okay. And that applies to commercial property as well.
It does.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. I see Stacy put the link in the chat there, so you might want to click on that. Fax.realtor. Okay. Thank you.
Here's the other caveat to that is a little unfair, is this only applies to members of the National Association of Realtors. So you understand that not every sales agent is a realtor. And that, for example, in Sykeston, you have some salespeople that are realtors and some that are not. So if people understand this and they reach out to an agent and they say, I want to see a property, they say, I'm sorry, I have to sign a buyer's agency agreement. They go, oh, never mind, I'm going to go to the one that's not a realtor, just an agent. I don't have to sign anything with them. So we have a big problem with that. So
that can be very confusing then, as far
yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, because
What is the difference?
the difference is that Stacy and I are members of the National Association of Realtors. You do not have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors to be a licensed agent. So you can sell property if you want without being a member of NAR.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people don't understand that. They assume everybody that sells real estate is a realtor. That is not, absolutely not true. You have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors.
Well, that actually puts you at a higher standard, doesn't it, from my understanding?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
So it sounds like you're getting penalized for being a better, more qualified is what it sounds like.
It does. This whole thing was this whole lawsuit was just, and the settlement, NAR was pretty sure that they would win this because there's always been full transparency on the commissions. The buyers that filed this were saying, why am I paying? The sellers that filed this thing, why am I paying the buyer's agent? The buyer should pay their own agent. On our listing agreement, it says that here you're going to pay me X number of dollars. And out of that, if another agent, cooperating broker, brings a buyer, we're going to split that X number of dollars between us and the buyer's agent. It's not a new fee. It's always been there. But now as if Stacy gets a call and she wants to get paid, she's got to call the other broker, other agent saying, am I going to get paid? Did your seller agree to pay commission and how much?
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, I'll tell you.
What this really does is hurts the first time home buyers because now they have, and you understand that you cannot finance, the banks will not finance the commission for a buyer. So they'll finance the price of the property, and that price is what's in the seller's agreement, right? And the seller pays that commission, so that's not part of it. But if they do it separate, so if I buy a house for you for $100,000 and I have to pay $10 to my buyer's agent, I can only borrow $100,000. So I'm out of pocket as a buyer having to pay that buyer's agent if the seller didn't agree to do that.
It just sounds like complication and extra things we don't need is what it really sounds like.
Our forms are crazy. We're not sure. I mean, legal or Missouri Realtors legal staff has been going crazy with how to do this, how to do the forms, what do we need to do. So our buyer's agency agreements have made a drastic change this year. They change all the time. We always make updates to them, but this year is like a huge change. Everybody's still trying to figure out exactly how to do it.
This sounds like it puts the buyer at a huge disadvantage because without a buyer's agreement, they don't have any kind of protections in that transaction.
Well, they have the protection of having representation by an agent. But again, you need to find a buyer's agent that you trust. And if you have to sign the agreement before you even get to know that agent, that's not the best interest of the buyer.
It can be signed for one property at a time, though.
It can. It can be.
So that can at least give you the opportunity to get to know them more, be able to interview them better, ask more questions, and it can go like there can be an agreement for each property, or it can be for a certain number of days. So there can be some adjustments on that and give you a little more time to get to know them and see how they do business.
So that makes it kind of challenging to do business in other markets. Because if I live here in St. Louis and I'm looking at other markets, my first thought would be, let me talk to an agent in those markets to see what's the best areas to invest in. But if I have to sign an agreement every time just to talk to an agent, I don't know how feasible that would be.
So the problem with signing for one property is, and Stacy can tell you this, how many buyers are happy with one property? we're gonna show multiple properties, and if they say, hey, if they call Stacy and they tell Stacy, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch, 2-car garage in this price range, can you do a report or have it set up so that I can see all those in that price range in this neighborhood? So is she going to write a buyer's agency agreement for each one? And that's the idea of the buyer's agency agreement, so that I have an agent who's going to show me multiple properties if I want to.
Or if we're out and about looking at one property and there we see one down the street, I cannot legally show them that until they sign a new agreement for that specific property. Or you can do agreement that kind of has a broad umbrella for multiple different properties. But if you're doing it per property, we can only show you that property. We can't show you anything else until you sign another agreement for either the umbrella properties or one other specific address.
Well, wouldn't it make sense to sign an umbrella one right out of the gate, or is that, I mean?
Yeah, it does. But Tiffany was saying, if you're not comfortable or you don't really know this agent, you can do it per specific property. But then if we're out and about and all I have is my cell phone with me, I'm not going to be able to type up a new agreement to go see any other properties with you.
Oh, I see.
Well, and one of the things about the fee is that if I say, John, I'm going to charge you $1, right? And then the seller says, hey, bring me a good buyer and I'll pay you $2. I can only take $1. I cannot take more than what's agreed to in the buyer's agency agreement.
Well, can't you leave that open too and just say, we'll see what we come up with?
No, because actually Stacy tried to figure out a way to do that. And you cannot. You have to be specific as to what your fee is.
Because I was just wondering, because a lot of times what we used to do on some of the stuff, we'll just say, well, we'll do the best we can, but it's going to be between like 1% and 5%, just depending on what we can do for you. But you can't do anything like that?
No.
Okay.
We tried, didn't we, Stacy?
So this kind of opens the door for unscrupulous agents, because then potential buyer agent is incentivized to only look at properties that will offer a commission, a higher commission.
Actually, it doesn't, because they don't know what the commission is going to be, right? Because it's not posted anymore. And that was one of the arguments that the DOJ was saying, is that agents will go out and look and see which properties have paid a higher commission and only show those properties. I don't know that. I guess there were some agents that did that, but that does not make sense. To do, you're hired by a buyer to find your property, and that's not in the best interest of the buyer to be selfish like that. And so, and we have a code of conduct, and that would absolutely be against code of conduct.
They keep you on your toes, don't they? Let's see. Anybody else have anything you'd like to share with us today? A lot of good conversations here.
I have a question about MSD and like their prices having increased significantly over the past few years, and if anybody has like done anything about that. I live in the county and my MSD bill is quite reasonable, but I own a handful of duplexes and whatnot in the city, and so my MSD bills are kind of crazy at this point. So I'm just wondering if anybody has like done anything related to that, like gone to their meetings or, tried to push back in some way. I transfer that to my tenants, but it doesn't make me happy to do so.
Well, the biggest increase for MSD is water usage. So your tenants are using more water. I mean, I think MSD is, it does have some rate increases, But I can see my bills go up and down because I told my tenants the less water you use, the less your MSD bill is going to be. Because if you, I don't remember exactly what it is, but they look in the winter time, and it's like a 2 or 3 month window. They look at your water usage, and they look in the winter time because you're not watering your grass or washing your car. It's water they assume is going into the sewer. And that's how they determine the bill. And if somebody has some other information, please say something. But that's my understanding. It's by how much water you use is how the bill is determined. So if somebody else has something to say, go ahead.
Yeah,
Although-
Jim, I remember. Yeah, it is a particular time. And I believe it's in February that they just do like the whole year. They measure what you've used in February, I believe it is. January or February, and then that sets the rate for the whole year.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
They will charge you even if you don't have water turned on at the property though, too. I've had that happen several times when the property is vacant for a while, and they will charge you regardless of your water usage. So MSD is kind of like their own little entity. And I know we talked about that with the tax sales lately, last several weeks or couple months, because even if you buy a property there and there's a tax lien on there, they had a ruling, I forgot which one it is, but not too long ago, a couple years ago, where they can supersede everything. So and it's something I know when I was a mortgage broker, we used to negotiate with MSD. They don't negotiate anything anymore. We used to have properties that were empty. They might have a $5,000 bill, and we'd negotiate it down depending on what the situation was. A lot of times to a couple $1,000s, but they don't do that at all anymore. It just remains with the property regardless of what happens. So MSD is a whole different ballgame, and I'd love to hear if somebody has any other insight on any of it, because that's something that comes up all the time.
Well, MSD can do a super lien because there's no way you can turn the sewer off. Like you can turn the electric off, you can turn the gas off, you can turn the water off. You can't turn the sewer off. And that's why I like to tell everybody that they need to pay their tenants MSD bill, because if you have the tenants pay the bill, they may not pay it, and then MSD is going to put a lien on your house because MSD can't turn the sewer off, so the tenants don't care if it gets paid or not.
That's an excellent point, Jim, because they will not pay it more often than they will pay it.
Yeah, that's true. I have never charged my tenants with the MSD. We pay them ourselves all the time on every tenant.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been paying mine. For my tenants, they've been creeping up there. So that helps. Thank you.
You think that maybe somebody has a leak or something? Maybe, a water issue
Well,
there?
you'll get that from the water, like the Missouri American Water will and the city will let you know if they monitor for that. So, I mean, it's possible, but
I have two things to input, and I just don't know how accurate they are. But and the property I'm thinking of when I speak to this is in the county. It's in South County. But number one, toilet leaks can really add up, and I don't know if that would be a big enough thing to get reported. I know when our water bill was increasing without us understanding it, and then of course our MSD bill was increasing, we checked all of our toilets, and there were, I'd say over half of them had some sort of a slow leak going on. So I don't know, there could always be something. And then also I thought the last thing I heard from MSD when I talked to them about bill changes was that they reassess quarterly based off the water bill. And I don't know if it's different in the city or the county or whatever. I don't know. But I thought it was quarterly, but I was even wondering about that recently because I feel like my MSD bill is changing. It's not drastically changing, but the amounts are changing more on a monthly basis. So I was like, are they checking this more often? I don't know. It wasn't enough for me to get concerned enough to look into it, but good discussion, and those are my thoughts.
I'll agree with you, Laura, on the toilet leak. Yes, that a very slow leak that adds up very quickly.
And I just want to add something about the toilets. Be very careful if you have a vacant property. About 2 years ago, this was on our own house. So thank goodness we were home. We were sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden we heard this bang and then this water sound. And we jumped up to go investigate, and the back of the tank cracked all the way around. And if we were not there to turn that water off, it would have kept going and going to try to fill up that tank. So be very careful about that.
Yikes, you're lucky you were there, Lois. That could be a nightmare.
Yeah, I just think like if we were on vacation or if it was in one of our rental properties when it was vacant, it would have been terrible.
And that's a good point too, because the tenants a lot of times will not tell you. We had one that went over there one time and it was leaking. She said it was leaking underneath the sink. And we said, well, you know, how long has it been leaking? And we noticed the floor was all rotten away and stuff. And she said, well, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. Well, apparently it had been for a long time. And I think that was because the water bills got more expensive is the reason we even went over there. And come to find out, one of the kids was keeping their toys under there and playing, using that for a play area. And they will not necessarily tell you. That's one thing about the tenants. I think it's a good idea maybe to do some inspections for that kind of stuff. But if you ever notice, you know, your bills increasing, it's probably a good idea to do that, because that could be rather costly. It ended up, we not only the pipes, but we had to replace the floor underneath the sink there. So, and that was because the kids liked to play there when mom was cooking. So you just never know.
Well, I'll say you can't do this for your rental properties, but I do a lot of traveling. I'm out of town. And the last thing I do before I leave the house is turn my water off. I turn the main valve off, and so the water is off at my house if I'm gone for more than a day or so, period.
We do the same
Point,
thing,
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the same as well. Yeah, it's been off now for a week. Yes.
And where'd you say you were, Ann? Up in Cape Cod, was it?
Yes, Cape Cod.
Wasn't there some
Martha's Vineyard, huh? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Isn't there some flooding going on somewhere close to you guys up there right now?
Some what going on?
Some flooding or something I seen?
No.
Not
Honey,
there?
have you seen any flooding? I don't think there's any flooding. No, I haven't seen any.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I seen some up in, I think it was Connecticut or something last week sometime.
I think, yeah, last week I believe it was Connecticut, yes. But so far we've been fine here, yeah.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, are you on vacation or are you doing something
No.
work?
No, just on vacation, yeah.
Oh, great. Well, have a
Just
great
having
time.
fun. Oh, guess what? It was I think it was 97 where you guys are, I mean, St. Louis, and here it was 71.
Oh, nice.
So we definitely enjoyed that. Yeah.
Very nice. Bring some of that home with you, will you please?
Okay, that's right.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Oh, I'm got a new to be.
Unrelated to real estate, but related to St. Louis. Anybody have a body shop they recommend? Stacy, the one you gave me, said they can't get us till December.
Auto body shop
Yes.
in St. Louis, you said?
Yes.
I don't know if anybody else know of any. I don't have any I recommend.
Schaefer's done some good work, I know, but they've got shops all over. I've used the one in Webster. I don't even know if it's in Webster anymore. It was years ago, but I've had good luck there, but that was many, many years ago. It's Schaefer Auto Body, I guess.
I'll check it out. Thanks, Jim. Little bit of fender bender in the company car. So.
Hey, Dave, I don't have a recommendation, but I know one of the best mechanics and he's got super high standards. So I sent him a text to ask him who he recommends for auto
Oh,
body because
thanks.
he wouldn't recommend anyone he doesn't love. So
Thanks, Lauren.
yeah.
I just did the same thing with my mechanic. So you'll be getting some recommendations soon, Dave.
All right.
Always good to get recommendations out of people in the industry too, because they usually know who they like and who they don't like. So I see Reggie was asking, he's got something in the chat. Reggie, you want to unmute yourself? You got something about MSD, about overages, I think, or excess funds, it looks like, unclaimed excess funds.
Yeah, and I'm kind of moving around right now. So I had a property that I sold about 2 years ago, and I eventually got a letter from MSD that there was some excess funds on the account from the bill, and that I was supposed to come in or call it to claim it, to have it sent back to me. And I didn't do that in a timely fashion. And they said that they send that stuff over to a different company that handles it after a certain time frame. And I forgot I misplaced the letter that they sent me with that information on it, and I cannot remember the name of the organization. So I was saying if anybody else had any experience with that or knew how to figure out what that was.
Okay, I don't know if anybody, does anybody know? Probably check with the state, I would guess. State of Missouri.
Yes, they send it to state of Missouri.
Yeah, I'll check with them again, but I think I checked their website before, and it wasn't the state that was responsible for it. It was some third party, almost like one of those claims companies or something, like when they take a certain percentage of the money that they recover. It was almost a company kind of similar to that, but the lady at MSD told me to contact, like I say, she gave me the information when I called MSD direct, but I misplaced it.
Yeah, you might want to just call them back and just see what they say, because they should be able to get that to you.
Thank you much.
Tiffany, you got something on MSD rates here? Let's see here. Is that just some information you could find out about the rates they charge? Is what it looks like. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
It says that the bill will raise about 7% annually over the next 4 years. And they're looking at the bill increasing from $61 in 2025 to $75 in 2028. That was according to the St. Louis Post. Then I also put the link for the MSD's website, their link for more information about their project.
Thank you, Tiffany. It sounds like a pretty good increase. Hopefully they're doing something good with that money. Okay. I see somebody got some information in there for you, Dave, on some auto body. Let's see. They're asking more. Okay, that was Laura. She had to go.
Yep.
Bye, Laura. Okay. Anybody else have anything you'd like to share today? We're coming up close on the hour. We got a few more minutes.
I just want to mention to Eric, next time you see me at a meeting, if I forget, talk to me because I want to talk to you about Czech Republic. You're muted.
Okay.
You said you had a lot of good information. You've been there, so it's one place I want to go.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
All right. Sorry, it wasn't real estate related, but you know.
It could be. You could do some market research over there, Jim.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. Yeah.
When are you going?
Oh, I'm probably after I retire, so sometime after next year.
Oh, okay. When are you coming home, Eric? You've got a little ways to go.
I'll be in country on the 9th of September.
Okay, will you be back for our next meeting?
Yes, actually, what it is, the plan is I'll be back for the meeting, and then the next following day I'm flying to California to see my mother.
Okay. So you're the world traveler right now. So good to see you. So there you go, Jim. Maybe you and Eric can get together on the 17th there.
Yes, I should be back in town by then.
Yep, sounds good. And that will be with cost segregation. That ought to be a pretty good meeting. If you do know any CPAs, they could get some, whatever they call them there, for CE credits, whatever their continuing education is, because cost segregation does a lot of things with CPAs. And they're coming in, for investors, but anybody that if you do talk to your accountant or CPAs, you may even want to mention it, because that's a way you can get a no-cost some no-cost credits there. So that's, anybody else have anything today?
I may have got in a little bit late, John, because of the way the computer works, but you said the Monday session was delayed a week, since Monday is the first Monday of September, and people to Applebee's aren't going to be there till the 9th. I don't remember if you said that.
Yeah, the lunch meeting, I don't know that I did mention that, Bruce, but yeah, the lunch meeting that's normally at Applebee's 11 o'clock on the first Monday will be the second Monday this time because of the holiday. So, and I think that's the 9th, I want to say. Let's see here.
It's the 9th.
It is the 9th. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm flying home that day, so that's why I know it's the 9th.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, thank you, Eric. And thank you, Bruce, for bringing that up. All right, anybody else have anything? If not, I guess we can probably call it a day. We got about a minute and a half left, it looks like. A lot of good conversations today. I will have the replay up on YouTube by midnight tonight. That's my rule. It'll be on the website. I'll send it over to our webmaster, but a lot of times, depending on what time it is, you don't get it up till the beginning of next week. But it will be on YouTube by tonight. So if anybody missed anything, or they just want to listen again, feel free to do so. We put all the replays on there too. We've got several hundred of them now. You can go back to the member section always of STLREIA.com. Or if you can't wait and you need the one for tonight, just send me an email at ams826@yahoo.com, and I'd be happy to give you a link when I get that up too. So if anybody's got anything else, this is a good time to say so. If not, and thank you, Bruce. Let's have a great holiday, everybody. And yeah, I agree. And same for me too. We good seeing you all. We'll see you again next Friday. And appreciate everybody tuning in today. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.